All right, the special meeting of the mayor and the city council, city of Port Allen, Louisiana, days Monday, July the 19th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. Each person must decide before entering the chamber which agenda item they wish to comment on. If they are not seated in the chamber when the agenda item is heard, they will be notified by an officer to enter the council chambers to address the agenda item. Agenda.
Sorry.
No, it's on.
So that was just a practice reading. Man, you get to do it again. Pretty much.
I got it over there.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep, that's what I said too. There you go.
Go.
Okay.
It just keeps getting better.
This is getting really good.
The music is good.
This is really good. Got some loose out of the shirt.
Doing no jelly bugs though.
Well, when we upgrade this room, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
This thing has to be old.
All right, let's get started again. The special meeting of the mayor and the city council, city of Port Allen, Louisiana, days Monday, July 19th, 2021 at 5:33 p.m. Each person must decide before entering the chamber which agenda item they wish to comment on. If they are not seated in the chamber when the agenda item is heard, they will be notified by an officer to enter the council chambers to address that agenda item. Agenda, please silence all electronic devices. Call to order. Agenda item 2, pledge allegiance. Please stand. Mr. Tony Aircraft, can you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Agenda item 3, roll call.
Mr. Brown? Ms. Gordon?
Here.
Mr. Hubble?
Here.
Mrs. Lacy?
Here.
Mr. Riviere?
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Agenda item 4, public comments. Comments from the public are allowed in accordance with Louisiana Revised Statute 42:11, Section 2 through 34, and specifically limited to an agenda item to be considered during the meeting. 3 minutes per person and 15 minutes per topic. Agenda item 5, public hearing to obtain views regarding the adoption of an ordinance to amend the City of Port Allen's 2020-2021 sewer fund to cover emergency expense costs associated with repairs and improvements to the city's wastewater treatment plant. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? No announcements? All right, we're gonna close the public hearing. Agenda item 6, consider adoption of an ordinance to increase the fiscal year 2020 to 2021 budget in the sewer fund to cover emergency expense costs associated with repairs and improvements to the city's wastewater treatment plant. Ms. Roche, read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 9 of 2021. An ordinance of the City of Port Allen, State of Louisiana, providing for an amendment to the budget of the City of Port Allen Sewer Fund for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021, and to provide for related matters.
Mr. Eric, you.
Good evening.
How y'all doing? Mayor, I believe, and I didn't see on the agenda the exact total amount, but Mr. Lance and He gave me the breakdown of all the invoices and, obviously what we're planning. If y'all recall, we talked about the emergency bypass already. We've installed one of the pumps. Currently, we're waiting on 2 more pumps and the valves, and as soon as they're being shipped, then we're going to solicit proposals for installing those pumps, and then essentially you'll have 3 brand-new pumps in a pump station that's all of the pumps actually in the station. So that total is $235,000. There'll be a little bit of cost for us to do some engineering. There may be some other ancillary costs. I will say that this time in order to expedite it, I ordered the check valves with the pumps. So when the pumps arrive, the check valves will already be here and the contractor should be able to get started more quickly. Are there any questions on this, y'all? I mean, hopefully, obviously, if you have 3 brand new pumps, the odds of all 3 of them dying before the next 20 years is unlikely. Any questions?
I don't think we have any questions. Do y'all have any questions? We've discussed this so many times. So,
Need a motion?
I make a motion. I second it.
Okay, I got a motion by Councilman Riviere, second by Councilwoman Gordon. Any objections? Hearing none?
Mr. Brown? Is he here? Can we
PJ,
count him as present?
He has entered prior to the roll call vote, so.
Mr. Brown? Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. Lacy?
Yes.
Mr. Riviere?
Yes.
Mr. Brown, do you want to vote?
It's on the surge. We already discussed it.
Number 6, all right. Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, agenda item 7, consider introduction of a budget amendment ordinance in the fiscal year 2021 to 2022 Police Department capital outlay budget to increase the amount budgeted for the purchase of 3 vehicles to the amount of the state contract quote. Mr. Joseph, Mr. Jacobs.
I'll start and let's actually, so you all budgeted for the purchase of 3 vehicles. The chief indicated he wanted to purchase 2 marked units and 1 unmarked unit. Due to a recommendation from our chief mechanic, Darrell Lewis, as well as the company that outfits the vehicles, they have suggested that we go with Chevy Tahoes. We're abandoning the Dodge Durango for various reasons. The quotes came in from Jerry Lane for 3 Chevy Tahoes under state contract in the neighborhood of $105,000. You all budgeted $101,000 and change. That did not include outfitting the vehicles as police units. The quotes for those ranging about $7,500 to $8,000 each, depending on whether it's marked or unmarked. Therefore, we can purchase the vehicles. We've already put in order for 2, pursuant to the current amount budgeted, but once we outfit those 2, we will be shy of purchasing a 3rd vehicle. There's also 2 units that were totaled, and we're awaiting the insurance proceeds on those, so we will have to replace those probably with one new unit from the proceeds of both of those combined, and that unit will also have to be outfitted. So I'm thinking in the neighborhood of $50,000 to cover all of the expenditures.
How much? I'm sorry.
$50,000 more. That'll cover the additional $4,000 that you budgeted last year that the state contract quotes came in for those 3 vehicles. And that'll also pay for the outfitting of those vehicles as police units, and leave a little left for the new unit that'll be purchased with the insurance proceeds. So I think Mr. Lewis has been instructed to recover as much as he can from the wreck units, but we still gonna probably need to replace some of that equipment that was damaged in the accidents.
When was the accident?
One was October 2020, and the other one was June 19th, 2021.
Just recent.
Yes.
They didn't get hurt, no?
No injuries in either accident. But the October 2021 was
And my manager.
Sorry?
He had minor injuries.
Well, no significant injuries, no workers' compensation claims. So,
So is both of the vehicles is inoperable, this
oh yeah, they're both total.
total, okay.
So I want to ask a question. When those officers have wrecks in the vehicle, are they held accountable for some of the accident, or the damage part, or none at all?
Well, that's a chief question. The chief sets the policy for his department. All I can say is, they were both working. Well, one was working, one wasn't. He was on his way home from his night shift, and they had single vehicle accidents in that one. And the other one was a crash involving another vehicle. And
Were they at fault?
I'm not willing to say. I don't think so, but based on the facts I know, I'll leave that to. I think it's going to be litigated, so we're going to leave that to that process.
I'm just asking because if they tend, having these accidents in vehicle, we need to try to hold them accountable for it. Don't make them think that they can go and then have all these accidents and they'll be held accountable for it. Treat it like it's your own.
I understand, and for that,
if you give me a vehicle for the city and I go out there and I'm like, hey, forget it, I ain't got to pay for it.
Well, the most recent one that just happened, like Mr. Joseph said, we sat down, Lieutenant Williams did an IA investigation on that officer. He was sat down by both me and Lieutenant Williams. It was explained to him that he needed to get himself checked out by his physician.
You mean check out, like drug tests and all that?
He took a drug test. Yeah, that's automatic. He took a drug test. He was advised by me to go to see his referring physician to make sure that he didn't have any kind of medical conditions that enabled him from operating a city vehicle when he's getting off going home. I advised him that if this happened again, depending on the severity of the next time, that he would be dismissed from the police department.
Now let me ask you a question. I'm glad you say that. And I'm just asking, I'm just throwing it out. And I know they work like overnight from 4 to 4 in the morning.
Yes.
If they really too sleepy to go home, is there a room where they can just rest, maybe for 30 minutes to an hour before they go home? They're sitting up all night driving, riding, and naturally they're gonna go to sleep, falling asleep going home because they're sleepy. If they hadn't already slept on the job.
Well, like I say, this is the first time he said he ever had that happen to him. So, like I said, a lot of factors could come into play. I don't know if they was, extremely busy that night or, things just, he was all just about home before that incident occurred.
Yeah, I'm just saying, to give them a place where, hey, officer, if y'all feel that y'all too tired to go home, this is a room where you can take your little break, nap, and then get up and go home. We don't want them to work all night and then try to make it home. They know they're sleepy. And like I said, a lot of them might be sitting in place sleeping anyway, but sometimes, look out for them, protect them. Because I know that some workers at Dow, when they work like that, they have a room for them where they can, sleep, get a little rest before they leave. Excuse me?
I said, we far-fetched from Dow.
Yeah, but we can get close. It don't have to be a bedroom, it's just somewhere where they can relax before they go home. You ever thought about that, new chief?
Well, we, like I said, we sat down with that officer and explained to him, if you feel like, you're getting tired, pull off the side of the road, pull into a gas station, get you a cup of coffee, walk around your vehicle 2 or 3 times, wake yourself up. I guess it's one of them things, he got to the point where he was almost home, and,
Right.
I'm thankful to God that, he didn't get seriously hurt or something else happened or, some other party got hurt really bad.
And I know when it's time for them to get off, they're ready to go home. I understand that. But you have to protect yourself also.
Right.
So is there a litigation gonna come behind?
That officer, since he's been with the department, he hasn't had any write-ups. He comes to work, he does his job. I just gave him a verbal reprimand.
No, I'm saying like no lawsuits, he's not gonna claim injury and.
No.
That just was a single car accident, right? He was.
The workers' comp, if they're going
Yeah.
after the city.
Okay.
Now, I don't know the details of the accident, but it's responsible third party.
Chief, do you have an amount, the total amount for the budget amendment, close to it?
It was 104.
I know it's just introduction, but
think Lance said, what, 101?
And we budget 104.
Original budget.
Oh, the original budget.
Oh, how much are we going over?
Well, let's say, I think right at maybe 4.
4,000?
Yes, sir.
And how many cars do we have working right now, chief?
Okay, but plus the refill.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get to,
Just the
Lance.
car itself, I think, was what, 3,000 over,
Well,
4,000?
he
Yeah.
said 4.
I think the whole total is gonna be like 150, 155.
Yeah, one.
Mine's the insurance,
From my understanding, it would be about $27,000 to $30,000
Over?
over is
Well,
what
he
the
said
amendment would be for, but Lance or Audrey would have to.
I don't have that information.
Okay.
Yeah, Lance says that with the other two vehicles,
It'll
that
be
was,
50,000.
it'll be an additional $50,000, which will
50,000,
bring it up to 155,000.
Right. I know how that is.
How many vehicles do
So
we have working right now?
54,000.
That's working.
Amendments.
Every officer has a unit. We have 2 at Simpsons right now that's getting worked on. We have 1 unit that's currently on the lot that's waiting to go to a dealership that has transmission problems. So, but other than that, we do have two spares, and we're just waiting on these other 2 vehicles to be fixed.
The 2 vehicles that were involved in the accidents, what kind of vehicles were they?
The Tahoes.
They were talking.
Yes, sir.
You know, Lance earlier said on recommendation of Darrell Lewis, moving from the Durango to the Tahoe. Okay?
Right.
Okay, is there some type of training that these officers have for these Tahoes? Because you have a higher wheelbase on that, and it's top heavy. And is there, versus a low slung car like a Durango, is there any type of training that y'all have that you go through to?
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, there's a driving school that y'all send them to, don't you?
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, they used to, because the previous administration, anytime they was involved in a traffic accident, they was at fault, they was supposed to attend a driving school.
I have to get with Lieutenant Williams on that.
Okay. And another thing, Chief, is that anytime an officer is at fault in an accident, he should be held accountable. And this is a privilege that they have to take home units. And I think they should lose that privilege and drive their personal car back and forth to work for an extended period of time. So, yeah, I might think
Maybe
about that.
12 days, 30 days.
That's up to the chief.
But I think we
Is that
we
enough?
will have
Back to
some
that,
kind of
just a
training
recommendation.
on that Tahoe handling of those things.
I think I'm still kind of stuck on how many cars we have working. 2 of them at Simpson, so they inoperable right now.
Yes.
1 is waiting on the dealer, did you say the dealership?
Yes.
And 2 is the spare, so we only have 2 working vehicles, how many on the road right now?
No, everybody has a working unit.
How many is that?
3, 6, 8, 10.
10.
And with your new hires there, that's what the spares end up flying out to?
Yeah, one of them will be given to them. But they won't patrol the new hire will ride with the supervisor for 30 days till he feels that he's ready to be on and cut out on his own.
And how many we have employed? You said 16?
It's still kind of short.
Oh, each officer has a unit, take-home unit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got 16 officers, except for they got, what, 3 vacancies?
She got 6 fake. Well, 5 now.
5?
Yeah.
I still think, Chief, that you need to hold them accountable when they had these accidents and these vehicles.
Like I said, me and Lieutenant Williams will get together and we'll come up with a idea of bringing down a little harsh penalty on them.
And every officer.
More discussion Because all we're doing is introducing it, so I'll move.
Yeah, I second it.
I got a motion by Councilman Riviere, second by Councilwoman Gordon. Any objections?
And then just so we're clear, Lance did say the dollar amount is 50.
It was 155.
One
Total is
55,
155.
So total is 155?
yes.
Approximately, yes.
Okay.
I think we should do it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about $3,300 more to buy the three, and then to outfit them is in the $30,000 range, and the fourth vehicle would be about maybe 10. So I think we should cover it.
What'd you say, Audrey, about that?
This is the first I'm hearing any of these numbers.
I just saw you over there with us. Maybe you want to input on it.
This came in on Thursday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so your total amount is 155,000.
Yes, because you
Okay.
already budgeted 101.
Right.
So,
Well, we just want to make sure, you keep saying 30,000.
no, it's different stuff.
Okay, so we just gonna give a whole
Budgeted
total,
101, and that 101 doesn't even purchase the vehicles.
because it's
much less
104. Okay.
Outfit. Right.
Okay.
So it's 105 to purchase it. And then it's roughly-
50,000 for
yeah,
the-
it's about 10,000 a piece to get the graphics and all the equipment installed.
Yeah, I just want to know the actual amount, so we.
So that means we need to budget about
155,
54,000 more dollars.
155,
So the total is 155.
155.
Yeah, but they already budgeted
Yeah, plus
101.
54,000.
So that amount of that is 54,000.
Right.
Wait, no, not 54, but 55.
So you got a motion and a second?
Yes, sir.
We did. Charlene Gordon.
Mr. Riviere, and then
Yeah, I got it.
and vote.
Okay. Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Mrs. Lacy?
Yes.
Mr. Riviere?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Agenda item 8, consider introduction of a budget amendment in the fiscal year 2021-2022 Police Department's capital outlay budget to authorize the purchase of bulletproof vests. 4 bulletproof vests. Chief?
On the last page of your packet that you got, you see that 4 officers was outfitted with, or measured for bulletproof vests. With the exception of Lieutenant Freddie Christopher, his vest doesn't expire till next year. So I'm gonna get the new hiree, Ronald Monroe, measured for that vest in order for him to have.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Do you need an amount on that?
It's 600 apiece.
Yeah, it's a little over 25. It's a little under $2,500 presented as under the quote.
On the angel armor. Yeah, it's showing 2677.75.
2677.
Well, I think that's the charge on it that should be
Oh, the shipping and handling.
possible. That's the number. That's close.
What it is?
2677.75.
Okay.
Chief, you know what copy of the
So you need
minute?
That's on the back?
All of them just expired. So Chief, all of them just expired? Okay.
Well, right over here.
Freddie doesn't expire till next year.
So we don't have to worry about this.
You still need 4. You need 2 for Mr. Williams and
Mr. Ron?
Williams, Parker, and Mitchell.
Donovan and Williams are the 2 that expired. Parker is a new hire, and you hired him Monroe last week, so he's gonna take the
The place of Freddie.
Can we get a motion?
I move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilwoman Gordon. Any objections? Hearing none?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. Lacy?
Yes.
Mr. Riviere?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
You're welcome.
Tough on the drivers.
And agenda item 9, announcements. I have one announcement. Some more, if each one of you see the flyer at your desk. It's a grand opening for a new business on Boyd Lane, 1475 Boyd Lane, and the owner of the business invited each one of y'all to come and partake in the festivities. They're gonna have lunch and food and a couple of raffles. So they want you to support their business, and I appreciate if y'all come out tomorrow at 10 o'clock to support us.
Okay.
What they do is
Ticket for you.
traffic control products, pavement marking equipment and supplies, signs and custom graphics. Your speed signs and your bicycle signs and so forth.
Matt, can I get a count of who's going to the taste of West Baton Rouge so we can?
Okay, and is anyone going to the taste of
Is that Friday?
West Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I will be attending. And so you, Miss Lacy, right?
I'm contemplating. I have a prior event, but it may end. I can let you know as early as tomorrow.
My grandson's 5th birthday party, I think that's gonna take precedent over.
Okay, so they listen to it. Okay, look at it. We'll call it on this weekend.
All right, agenda item 10. Everybody have any other announcements?
No, sir.
The pop-up shop, that was good. They was
Oh,
telling
yeah,
that on the other
yeah,
meeting.
we talked about that, and we're looking for the next one on August 14th. I think everybody enjoyed it. I think the participants walked away with a smile on their face. They ready to do it again. It's the way we have it's a little tax money into the city, the ones, because they did have to register with the tax department. And so it's a good thing for the city as we get them to grow. Hopefully they come put some storefronts over here eventually.
All right, and I appreciate everybody coming out on late notice, but agenda item 10, adjourn.
Sorry, my target.